Really? Really, Steve-O? You have to go there, don't you? You gotta go there all the time. God, is it hot out here. Oh, man. I just had to shut this fan off so I could talk to you guys. What do we have here today? What's old Steve-O pulling out of his little magic hat today? A bag of tricks. This is a Lowe's 5-gallon paint stir stick. I got 3 of them in a pack for 98 cents. Yeah, so I bought 4 of them. So basically I got a little under $4. And doing it this way with my 8 frame. This is my 8 frame Beefy Beehive. So I bought 1 too many. So for my little deal here, all I needed was 3 packs. But I didn't know how I was going to go with this deal. You know, this is the Beefy Beehive because I've got a full 1.5-inch material on the end. And the reason I've told you in the past, the reason I build these, because it's such a kiss system, quick beehive. Because you're only using 1, 2, 3 screws per side shooting into, this is pre-drilled by the way, this is 3/4 plywood, exterior grade. And I just cut for a handle, I just cut a first strip here and screw in 3 screws on that into that nice meaty, beefy 1.5-inch end. This is the only hive style I will use until they shove old Steve-O in a pine box. Actually, they're not even going to put me in a pine box. They're going to shove me in one of them incinerators, cook me down. And then I told them to sprinkle my dust on where an intersection in the deer woods, like where a bunch of deer come together, you know, on a trail. Scatter me right in that intersection on an area that's never going to be developed. Because old Steve-O wants to be one with the wilderness, and he wants a deer to poop and pee on his head in the afterlife, okay? All right, that's enough of that comedy. Now, what am I doing here with this craziness? All right, check this thing out. My brain has been working overtime, and I didn't dream up this in my sleep. You know, a lot of times, old Steve-O will go to bed at night and dream about things, but no. Actually, I saw an Oriental guy doing this. I don't know where he's at. He's probably in China, okay? I'm guessing. So this is Steve-O's China version, but now he was a lot different than this. I think his sticks were almost 3/8. This here, I don't know. I don't know what these sticks are. Let's put a measurement on this. See if I can't fine-tune this for you. These measure, actually guys, this stick is 1/4 inch thick. 1/4 inch thick. Alright. Now you gotta ask yourself, Steve, what are you building? What I'm building, guys. Oh, by the way, let me show you this first. See this? And this, you can see through these. I kind of like this one, this lime one, because you can see my fingers through here. Light can go right through this too, right? You know where I'm going with this, don't you guys? The light can come through here, and the bees aren't going to like the light, are they? When you buy a Propolis trap, they're about $20-some. Steve-O's Propolis trap is virtually, I don't know, freebie almost. Yeah, and I just eyeballed this. See the gap in here, guys? See that gap in there? I needed something flexible. I think this stuff is tough. I mean, you can run knives over this stuff. They're real cheap too. I forgot what she said these cost. She said they're really super cheap. She get a 4-pack of them. She buys them on a 4-pack. Anyway, I did not like this here on the ends. For the simple fact, I'm going to be putting a stick under this lid here on 4 corners. Okay? and jacking it up so daylight comes under here, and it's going to be going down through these crevices, and these bees are not going to like it, and they're going to start propolising this thing up. All right. Once this thing gets propolised up, we peel it off, put it inside a garbage bag, and stick it in Miss Daisy's freezer without her looking. You know, till I get caught. She's going, what is this? What are you doing to me? What is this? I'm going to say, calm down, Miss Daisy. Oh, you're going to love this because Steve-O's making some of his backwood medicine for you. And if you ever get sick, you're going to really like Steve-O's medicine. Matter of fact, I've started coming down with something the other day. I had all these roofers here, as you recall, right? I'm going to turn this fan on. I'm dying. Hopefully you can hear me. I'll turn it down to low. There. Oh yeah, now that's good. Yeah, I felt it coming down because I had a few guys coming into the house, and every time they did, I threw a mask on. And but you know, there's so much heebie-jeebies floating around in the air. Anyway, and I've been going to the store, getting this, that, and the other, but I'm always careful with the hand sanitizer and the mask and all that. Somewhere I picked up something. Now Miss Daisy didn't get it. She's just about bulletproof. I mean, that woman, them Italians, they just, I don't know, they're a pretty tough breed. But anyway, she hardly ever, I've never hardly ever seen her get sick. If she does, it's really a bad one. So I really got to give her extra goodies for that. But anyway, I started coming down with something. I could feel it in my throat and everything, and I started getting weak. You know how you get, you just start draining, right? That's not good. No. I just went in, got my bottle of Christian Brothers brandy. I got a little 6-ounce glass, like a bar drink glass, whatever. And I put 2 tablespoons of that Christian Brothers brandy in. I put a tablespoon of honey in there, raw honey. I put in 3 droppers full of my homemade echinacea tincture, and I put in 3 droppers full of my elderberry tincture in there, right? Mixed that all. I put a little bit of still water on there, and I fired that down. Within 5 minutes, guys, I felt it going away, right? This junk in my throat was loosening up. I was to be able to hack it out of there. But you know how it goes, how you feel. So every hour on the hour, I would go in and do that. And I went to bed that night, and I got up next morning. I was just a little bit scratchy. I went in and hit it again. And today, I'm feeling great. My energy level's back up. I shook that thing off. But anyway, that's the whole idea of this propolis. It's got so many benefits to it. It's unbelievable. Now, I used to buy it at my health food store, but you don't know what you're getting at health food store. You're probably getting all honey and just a little bit of propolis and a little bit of royal jelly in that stuff. And they put so much. Royal jelly doesn't taste good at all. Got a great benefits to it, but it doesn't taste good. So they probably throw a bunch of honey in there to make it taste good. So you're kind of diluting the whole deal. This is going to be the real McCoy, this stuff I'm going to be making here. So anyway, yeah, that's the deal on this. It's a propolis trap. I don't think I need anything in the middle here at all. This is pretty beefy. I was thinking about putting one of these strips here. But what I did here, I was going to fix to tell you, this action here, when I did this here and I had this gap, I'm going, you know, maybe a bee can get in through here, but I don't think so. So anyway, the reason I covered these up was because of these handle holes here. So I made a little bit wider one there. All right, so now you get this thing, you leave this on a month or so, and as you'll notice here, see, this opens right up. Now, the Chinaman it looked to me like he had a piece of bicycle tubing across here, stapled on or nailed on. I forget how he had it fixed. Yeah, it looked like a piece of bicycle tubing. And I'll tell you what, that guy, he had a refrigerator, a little mini stand-up refrigerator, freezer, and it was slap full of these things. The whole shelf was. And he was digging out that propolis, putting it in the freezer, pulling it out, and then he had a little tool. He had here's what he had for his catch box. It looked like one of those tote boxes, similar to this right here. He had a clear one, and what he did was took a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe. He had a bench here, okay? Visualize a bench over here that we could lay his mat on it. This is all sterile like. He had a piece of 2-inch PVC pipe mounted right in here to where he could lay that on there, and he turn it upside down and we lay it over this PVC pipe, and it would open that slot up. Then he had a scraper, looked like a homemade scraper, that looked like a teardrop, like so, on a little metal handle. And he would run that, say that you're over the pipe here like this, and you see now this opens up. He would run that little pointed tool right down through there and scrape all that off, and it would fall into his catch box. And then he had a big old wide putty knife that he just gathered it all up and put in his little jars to sell. And he had a pile of that stuff. So we're gonna put this one on. I'm gonna make 1 or 2 of these for my 5-framers. Also, I've got some pretty hefty 5-framers. I've already got 3 sticks here for those. They're gonna be the same length, because on these beefies hives I've got, and it's no different in the 5s, it's 21 5/16 from here to here. That's the side, 21 5/16 on this thing. And my 8 boxes here on the inside. They are 12 1/4 inches. 12 1/4 gives me an 8-frame box. And I made these with 2x6s. You can see here, 2x6s. And I glued 2 2x6s together, and you've got a little piece you're going to cut off on the bottom. But you line up, you get the top right on it, and then you run this through a saw, and you take that bottom piece, and it ends up being here. So tell me what you think, guys. I think I got a nice little trick here. I went from $22 or $25 to $3.50. Even if you went out and bought this material here, I mean, the whole thing wouldn't cost you nothing. And I'm sure you're going to get quite a few years service out of this thing, because it's basically covered up. I mean, granted, some rain can come in. If it's raining sideways, can get in here a little bit. But that'll even encourage them bees to get crazier yet and start propolising all them cracks under there. Every one of these cracks is going to get plugged up. That one I just looked at, that high-dollar silicone one, I was just out there looking at that. And they are starting to work on it pretty good with the propolis. So I'm going to be in the propolis game here pretty soon. This is just stuff that you guys can do, even if you've got, you know, this stuff is high-end. It's expensive. Propolis, bee pollen, all that stuff. I don't like to get into bee pollen too much, because I want the bees to have all that bee pollen. Let them use it. But propolis, yes, I want to harvest that and make medicine. And you can give it away from gifts. Just pick up some tincture jars and make this stuff up. We'll get into making that. And I'm going to let you go now. And I'll see you soon. Actually, we're going to be in the bee yard tomorrow. I want to look these bees over and see what we can make up. Tomorrow's the 27th. And that's a full month from when we were last in there making up nooks. So we'll see if any of them girls made it back. If they did, hunky-dory. We'll make up more and keep on going. Be happy, guys. Be strong. We got to keep getting her on. See ya.